Well, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us on this webinar. I'm Dr. Laura Berry. I'm Dean of Arts Sciences and Business IT at the college, and I am joined by several others. We're excited to tell you about our revised information technologies programs. You probably know that IT rules the world. There are so many different career opportunities and different directions that you can choose. And you'll hear about some of those in this webinar. You'll hear about multiple course options that include the opportunity to take courses remotely and many of them online. As Rick Williams said, the chat window is open, so please put your questions in there. We'll have time at the end to respond to those questions. And just let us know if there's anything you want to say or you want to ask. I'm happy now to introduce you to Mrs. Cheryl Keemer, Department Chair, and she's going to tell you a little bit about the IT programs.
Good afternoon. Glad you could join us. We're very, very excited about these new opportunities for IT. As Laura said, IT rules the world. And we've really taken some time to revamp our IT programs, even to the point of, instead of it taking 2 years to get an associate degree, we're going to shorten that to anywhere from 14 to 16 months so we can get students out into the workforce in a timely manner. We have some of you that are on this webinar have been involved in our built team, and we've taken advice from you to make these changes. We've done a lot of research in order to do this. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Rick Williams. He is the faculty member and program manager of the IT programs, and he's going to go through and explain to you the changes and what we do have available. So Rick, it's yours.
All right, well, thank you, Cheryl and Dr. Berry. We are, as Cheryl has mentioned, we are very excited about the changes that we're making in this program. It's pretty much been restructured from the ground up. It used to be only the Cisco Academy that we kind of focused on the networking part of that and sprinkled in a few other IT courses along the way. But now we're kind of broadening that entire scope of IT and trying to basically create graduates that are going to be more marketable, be more of a jack of all trades, because we realize that not every company wants to hire networking experts, but they need people that can do all kinds of different things. So we are we've restructured everything, and starting this fall, we're going to be embarking on this new program that hopefully will be very beneficial to our students and also to the employers that are out there that are looking for our students to hire. The first thing I want to show you is this general IT degree that we've put into place. And this is a course map. It shows you semester by semester how the students can go through the program and finish up. And what we've tried to do here is, before, students could only start in the fall. We're trying to make that where it is not so structured anymore. They can start either in semester 1 or semester 2. Both of those they can get started, and they'll be structured, and they can move from course to course in such a way that they are not going to get behind, a year behind, if they start one semester late. So that has been one of the primary focuses for restructuring the program, is so we're not limiting the students to be able to only start in the fall. So that is one of the things. And as Cheryl mentioned, we're also trying to shorten the time. We're going to start offering more courses in the summer. We're probably going to be putting in more 8-week courses so that we can shorten the time that a student has in the program to complete within 14 to 16 months if they do take the courses in the summer. They can still take the traditional way, of course, but things may get out of sync a little bit, but we are going to have a full, or what's considered a full load in the summer as well to make that happen. Now, if you noticed before, we've focused heavily on networking. Now we are mixing in some brand new courses that are exciting. One of the things that we have is the cybersecurity fundamentals. Well, I guess before I get into the individual courses, the other thing that we wanted to focus on is that not only are they going to be leaving with a degree, but they can leave with the opportunity to achieve multiple certificates, certifications that are nationally recognized in a lot of different areas. So for example, the networking fundamentals or introduction to networks, that's going to map to not only to the CCNA, which is the Cisco certifications, but it's also going to map to the CompTIA Network Plus certification. The IT Essentials maps to the CompTIA A Plus certification. Cybersecurity Fundamentals is going to map to the CompTIA Security Plus certification. And then we have Cloud Technologies, maps to the Cloud Plus certification. Linux will map to a Linux Plus certification. We have the Advanced Network Security. It's a more advanced CompTIA certification called CYSA Plus. And then we have the Advanced Cloud, which is we're going to use AWS as our cloud curriculum. And we're going to have students that's going to map to the AWS Cloud Fundamentals and Cloud Architect certifications. So there are lots of certifications, and they have a potential to get several certifications by the end of their time here at Northark through this program. But you can see on this we're mixing in networking, basic IT hardware and software, server administration, security, cloud, a little bit of programming in there. So we have, I think, a good mix of all the different IT disciplines within this General Associate of Applied Science. So it is a kind of a jack of all trades, and that's kind of what we were hearing from a lot of employers, that they needed somebody that could they're not able to specialize in just one area, but they needed somebody that could do a lot of different things. The other program that we have is an emphasis in networking, and that's very similar to, it is the old Cisco Networking Academy, but it's just been kind of tweaked a little bit, and we've thrown in some things like cloud technologies and maybe some digital forensics, which I think is a very important thing in networking as well. Virtualization is another course that is new. That maps to VMware, the curriculum in VMware. So this is the CCNA or the whole Cisco Academy courses, but with some new and more current courseware that's built into it to help make our graduates and our students more marketable in the workplace. And the third emphasis that we have is in security. This is the general basically program, but it has more courses focused on network or cybersecurity. So you'll see we have not only the cybersecurity fundamentals and the advanced network security, but we also have firewall fundamentals. So we're going to have a course that we're going to be using the Palo Alto curriculum. So there's certification going to be available for that. We're also going to have the digital forensics, which is another one that is part of the other courses or the other degrees. We also are looking at implementing something called the ethical hacking, which is the Certified Ethical Hacker, the CEH certification. So we're going to be putting that into place as well. And the whole point, the goal of this is to help prepare somebody who is interested in the cybersecurity or security that wants to go out and get hired in this form of fashion as a tier 1 type of security analyst. They would have the fundamentals to be able to start that. And I'm not sure if Dr. Berry, if you want to talk to this, but there's also, it's in the works that we are trying to also get another degree plan that's strict specifically for security as well. Do we want to mention that at this time? You are muted.
Sorry, thank you. Yeah, I'd be glad to talk about that. I was about to send a message saying I never dreamed that somebody could actually be certified as a hacker. That's pretty cool. So nice credential. Yes, we are in the works of sending the paperwork, the proposal through to the Arkansas Department of Higher Ed to have new programs that would begin in the spring semester, transfer programs, one for data science and one for cybersecurity. So a little bit different than these programs. Those are intended for transfer, but the cybersecurity program will align nicely with what you're seeing here. So look for those opportunities as well. Thanks, Rick.
Thank you. So yeah, we're excited about some of the directions that we're going with this program as a whole. We see that the IT is, and especially during this time of the COVID-19 pandemic, IT has really had to take a major role to help people get where they could work from home, do these virtual meetings. So IT is become very critical, and not only is the connectivity important, but the security. So we need to make sure that everybody's safe and that they're not getting compromised or any data is getting compromised while all these things are taking place. So IT has really been pushed to the forefront, especially during this time. It's kind of had a focus on it. And we want to try to be as current as possible so that we can provide graduates that will be appealing to the employers out there. Now, not only do we have degree programs for this, the Associates of Applied Science in IT, but we also have a certificate of proficiency, which is a 1-semester program, and a technical certificate, which is a 2-semester program. And these are the courses these are the core courses that students would take to achieve these certificates. So if somebody's looking just to get a certificate, they just need to have some upskills. To maybe their employer just wants them to get the basics to get started. This may be a good path as well for them. So we have that opportunity as well set up for students that want to take that path. Now, real quick, talk a little bit about some of the classroom technology that we're using. We are constantly trying to build on that, and I tell you, this is just an exciting time for me. I love gadgets. I love technology. I love working with all these different things, and we are really starting to ramp up the program and get some things that are much more current and applicable to the life out in the real world as far as what students will be seeing. We've been fortunate enough that we were able to purchase a 3D printer. So that is going to be used in the A+ or the IT Essentials course and some of the Advanced Technologies courses, where students can get familiar with how a 3D printer works. And we're going to be using some Raspberry Pi devices in our Advanced Technologies class. And one of the goals I have for that is the students will be printing their own Raspberry Pi case. So that should be pretty exciting, so they can kind of have some ownership and be able to take that home with them when they're done. The Advanced Technology course, that is a course that's offered in the 4th semester. That's going to be a final, it's kind of not quite a capstone type course, but it kind of is, because it uses a lot of the skills and the knowledge that they have learned from the other courses, and they can apply them in several labs. The other thing is the IoT devices. You see the picture kind of in the middle. We're going to be in that course, that Advanced Technologies course, we do lots of work with IoT devices, smart thermostats, security cameras, IP phones, voice over IP. We work with tablets. We work with troubleshooting we learn how to use trackers and tone generators. You see the Raspberry Pi there, smart lights. We even have the voice activation where we have the Amazon, the Echo Dots, the Alexa enabled devices. So we're teaching students not only how they can use their skills to go out and go to work in a workplace somewhere with some of these IT skills, but also that they can implement some of these things at home. So they configure their own Wi-Fi router in this lab. So we can talk about security. How can they secure their own homes whenever they set all this up? And whenever we always sprinkle security, and we sprinkle in things all the way through this, so that they have the idea the knowledge whenever they get ready to set this up, that they can protect themselves and protect their homes from those unethical hackers that, Lord, they will not have the certification to be an unethical hacker. But it's we want to make sure that they are secure and that they are doing things the correct way. And we also are going to be introducing students to lots of networking equipment, virtual machines, virtual servers. We're going to be building patch cables. We have even a wall, if we're on campus, we have a test wall that we have students run cabling through that have a variety of different obstacles within the wall they might encounter in a real house or a real building. So they get trained on how to run cable in a wall. So not only we're trying to show give them the knowledge from the books and the curriculum, but we really try to show them how to do these things in real life and make it work. So yes, Dr. Berry.
Thanks. There's a delay because Rick has to unmute me. Yeah, you actually have a wall built in the back of your lab where y'all practice wiring that, or an artificial wall. We have a question in the chat box. Does everyone get a Raspberry Pi?
We are going to make that as part of the supplies, and I'm going to have the bookstore stock those. And instead of a book for that class, you buy a Raspberry Pi. And it's a kit. Those devices depends on which kit you get, can run anywhere from $40 up to about $80 or $90 if you get the cables and the SD cards and everything else with it. So instead of a book, we get that, and then everything that we do in class gets stored on that SD card, and when we're done, you get to take it with you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions before we move on to?
That was all I saw in the chat right now.
Okay. But anyway, like I said, it's very exciting. It's what we're trying to get accomplished here. Like I said, I think it's going to make and I've worked in the IT field for more years than I really care to put out there in public. But I've seen technology come from its infancy almost, and some of the things that are available now is just incredible, and it's just exciting to be able to teach the future generation of nerds. And I'm proud to be considered a nerd. But I'm just I love to see the progression of everyone as they go through the program, and we start throwing out, and as I said, it may be daunting at first because we have as most of everybody that I see on the screen here, we have our own language, and we'll start throwing out all these terms, and sometimes people are it's daunting because sometimes I forget to say all these acronyms mean something, and I may not define those, but like I said, by the time you get out with this program, you will know those, and because we will be going through a lot of that terminology, that IT language that we speak, and it's just like I said, it's exciting time, and IT is going to it's not going to go away. Technology is here to stay, and we're going to do our best to try to make sure that we have our students prepared for what comes next. All right, so I guess the next up is Charlotte Jennings. She's our Director of Admissions. Charlotte, let me get you on. Yeah. I'm trying to unmute you, Charlotte.
Am I muted now?
There you go.
Okay. Hi. Welcome, everybody. What I'm here to talk about are the admission requirements, and we've tried to make the admission process very, very simple. You can apply online. If you simply go to our northark.edu, you'll see the application for admission. It can be completed online. We will need high school or GED transcripts and other college or university transcripts. The college and university transcripts, we can give credit if it's applicable to Northark courses. And then also you have an opportunity if you want to take some CLEP exams. We can do prior learning through CLEP. So that's some options there. We will need, if you've not attended anywhere and you don't have math or English already completed, we'll need placement test scores. That's either ACT, it can be AccuPlacer, if you know, you tested back in the day with Compass or Asset, we will use all of those tests. And then we'll also need immunization records, just showing that you have 2 MMRs. All of that can just be emailed to us. Once we receive the application, then we can get you admitted, and there's still time to get that done for this fall. So if you're anxious to get started and you haven't done the application, as soon as we get off the Zoom, just get out there, fill out the application, and we'll get the process started for you. If you have questions about once you get your application in and everything, then you can set up an advising appointment. The number is there on the screen, and you'll be able to have that. If you have questions about the application or any of those processes, you can simply email admissions@northark.edu, and we can correspond that way, or my phone number, I think, was on the previous page. You can give us a call. If you have questions, let us know. Oh, yeah, classes are starting very quickly, the 17th. And then we'll have some second 8-week classes that will start in October. So as you can see, it's not too late to get started. Okay, yeah, that's all of our contact information there. So I think.
All right. And I think, thank you, Charlotte. I think Jessica Butterfield is up next to talk about financial aid.
Well, hopefully I can get her unmuted. There we go.
Hello. So as far as financial aid is concerned, we ask that all students, whether they think they're eligible or not, fill out the FAFSA application. It's not too late for us to process for fall, but we're kind of hitting crunch time now. So any student that's pre-registered is going to want to work with us in student accounts to see where they're at, but we will process a FAFSA application at any point during the semester. So even if it means a student has to start and maybe do a payment plan, we will make sure that we finish everything and that they're awarded any eligibility that they have. And Rick was talking about, in lieu of a book, having a Raspberry Pi. And I just wanted to touch on that to say that that counts as an educational expense. So a student that has federal aid could use their aid money to purchase that through the bookstore. And so those extra expenses for those really cool gadgets for these programs can be covered with federal aid. And that's Pell Grants and student loans both. So a student shouldn't be apprehensive because there's all that extra cool stuff for this program that they need. We'll make sure that we do our part, that they have the funding that they need in order to purchase those things. And so for classes starting this fall, students need to do the 2021 FAFSA application. It's all online. They've simplified the process. It's not simple, but it has been simplified over the last few years, and it is really easy to do. But students that need additional help going through it, because it can be intimidating, we have those, we have offices available on campus that can help students with that. So we use that federal application to see what gift aid a student has first. We look for things that the student doesn't have to repay. And then if we have to go the loan route, we address that next. So our office is running 8 to 5, 5 days a week now. So please get in touch if you have any questions. If we don't know the answer, we'll happily find it for you.
All right, well, thank you, Jessica. There is one more thing that I would like to mention. We keep talking about preparing students to be employed. I am working. I was hoping to be able to make the announcement today, but I am working, and we're hoping to be able to have a press release soon. But I'm trying to form partners with employers out there who will look at our graduates first. So I've got one that I'm working with right now who is very interested in looking at our graduates and giving them first opportunity to interview for any positions that they have open. And that is something I wish to continue with other companies as we can. So we're trying to close that loop basically so we can provide those opportunities after graduation as well for our students. All right, are there any questions or comments that we need to?
I don't see anything else in chat, but if there are any questions, please put them in. I would like to ask another person in the group to wave. Randy Skaggs, would you wave? We are really fortunate to have a dedicated academic advisor for this program. So when you enter this program, then Randy will work with you pretty much from the get-go and stick with you throughout the program in addition to the rest of us. Let's see, any other comments from anybody on the panel? All right, well, we will have this recording available. I put something in the chat earlier that if you would like us to contact you with more information, go ahead and send your contact information via chat to Cheryl, and we'll be glad to get back in touch with you. With this, this recording will be posted on social media. If you would like a copy of it to share with anybody else, then just let us know, and we'll be glad to direct you to that. Any other questions?
I just
Yes.
put my email address out in chat as well for everybody. So if you have questions specifically about that, the program, any of the courses, please feel free to email me.
All right, and thank you so much, Charla and Jessica, for joining us on this.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us. Really hope we see you here in, oh gosh, less than 2 weeks, I think, for the fall semester. Thank you.
All right, thank you all.